Hello and welcome to Let's Cook with Shohini. So today's video is about how to bake a fluffy, super soft vanilla butter cake and also some whipped cream frosting. So let's take a look at the ingredients. We will need 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup sugar and 3/4 cup of milk. 1 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, 2 eggs, half cup butter and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Keep in mind that we need unsalted butter for this recipe and you can also use oil if you want. Now you can add more sugar if you want. I like the cake less sweet, so have added 1 cup of sugar only. You also need 3/4 cup milk. You can add less milk as well, but this makes the cake super soft and delicious at the same time. Now measure the flour into a measuring jar. To 1.5 cup of flour, add 1 3/4 teaspoon baking powder. Now take a mixing bowl and add half cup of softened butter to it. Then add 1 cup of sugar by sifting it through a sieve so that there are no lumps in the mixture. Now we will see the stage which is known as creaming. So here we have to beat the sugar and the butter very well, and the longer you beat, more fluffier and pale the mixture will get. This ensures incorporating air bubbles into the cake batter, which helps the cake rise along with the baking powder, making it more light and fluffy. Now keep in mind all the ingredients should be at the same temperature. It's time to add the eggs. We will add the eggs one by one. Adding the eggs one by one will prevent the mixture from curdling. Sometimes you will notice that adding eggs to the butter and sugar mixture will curdle it. That's why we add eggs one at a time, but if you have added the eggs and the mixture has curdled, no need to worry. You can add a few teaspoons of flour to it and it will fall back into place. So now it's time to add the flour and the baking powder. Now they will be sifted into the mixture with the help of a sieve. Sifting ensures good mixing of the baking powder and the all-purpose flour, and it also keeps them aerated, hence no lumps are formed in the mixture. Now this technique of mixing all the ingredients together with a spatula is called folding. Folding does not agitate the batter much, and it is usually used when we are using very less or no baking powder in the batter. It helps the batter to rise very well. Now we will add milk. We will also add some baking powder and flour, again sifted through the sieve into the mixture. We will be adding the flour in batches. Now we don't essentially need to fold all the ingredients while baking this cake, since we are also adding some baking powder to it and have creamed the butter and sugar very well. So the cake will rise beautifully. But in order to show you what folding means, I have used a spatula to mix all the ingredients together. Now we will add the remaining milk and the remaining flour and baking powder through the sieve again. This time we will use the electric hand mixer for mixing all the ingredients together. We will use it on medium settings for just a few minutes. Don't overbeat your batter ever. Now we will add a teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla essence to the batter and beat it for a few seconds. It's time to make the cake pan ready. Grease and flour the cake pan and line the bottom with a parchment paper. Now I have used an 8-inch springform cake pan. Pour the batter into the cake pan. Level it on the top using a spatula. 350 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 40 minutes or until the crust turns golden brown. So the cake is done. Check if it's ready by poking a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, it means your cake has been baked really well. Now it's time to add the frosting in the middle of the cake board and place your cake on top of it. This will help the cake to stick to the cake board. Now this is a serrated knife, and we will use this knife to level the cake on the top and also to make two equal halves of the cake, since this will be a double layer cake. Now, to perfectly cut the cake into two equal layers, we will have to add these toothpicks on the side of the cake right along the center. And then we will pass the knife over the toothpicks and cut straight across the center. And this way we will slice the cake into two equal halves. So there you go. We have two equal layers. And now let's make some stabilized whipped cream frosting. For this, we will need 1/3 cup of confectioner's sugar, around a tablespoon of cream cheese, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and some vanilla essence. Now I have put the mixing bowl and the beaters in the freezer since the last 20 minutes. I will be using this to make the frosting. So add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream in a chilled bowl and mix it very well with the chilled beaters of the electric hand mixer. Now sift 1/3 cup of confectioner's sugar into the heavy whipping cream. If you don't have confectioner's sugar, you can simply grind the simple granulated sugar and make it into a fine powder and use it for making the whipped cream frosting. Now beat it very well. You will see that in no time the frosting will start coming together. Now you can see that it is so creamy and it is getting more dense as you're beating it. Now it's time to add the vanilla essence and 1 tablespoon of cream cheese. Cream cheese is the main ingredient that helps in stabilizing the whipped cream frosting. Stiff peaks have started forming, so the frosting is done. Now time for some quick and simple decorations. Take the bottom layer and start applying some whipped cream frosting or any frosting that you like on the top of the layer. Work it through the surface of the layer and cover it completely with the frosting. Now place the other layer on top and start coating it with the whipped cream frosting. The first coating of frosting on a cake is known as the crumb coating. After the crumb coating is done, it will go into the refrigerator and it will sit there for some time before you start applying the second layer of frosting on it. Now it's time for a little bit of decoration, and I will keep it very simple. Now look at these sprinkles. On the sides, these colorful things will go. Now these roses are made from buttercream, and I have made these roses beforehand. So now they will be planted on the cake. These are fully bloomed roses. Time to make some leaves to add some greens to this. So the cake is ready. Isn't it beautiful? Now time to taste the cake and check if the layers are beautifully done. Just look at the layers with the delicious whipped cream frosting in between and on top. So time to take a bite. You can see that the cake is so soft and it is so well baked. Just try baking this cake and enjoy the super soft, delicious cake. Like, share and comment if you like the recipe. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and please visit my channel for more videos.